Okay, so one of the most common questions that I get is I want to run the Lost Mine of Phandelver, but I also want to, after I've done that, I want to lead into Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Like this thing, okay? Now you may have the Tyranny of Dragons book rather than the original Hoard of the Dragon Queen, because I don't know if this is necessarily still for sale. And it's actually very difficult. I think this is one of the most annoying adventures I've ever run. I have run it, and I have to say that the vast majority of it was just painful. So here's my advice to you. Keep it really simple. This is what you're going to do. You're going to run the Lost Mine of Phandelver, okay? You're going to complete that, and they will be level 5. And then you're going to run from Hoard of the Dragon Queen. If you look at the contents page of this thing, it says Episode 1, Greenest in Flames. So you're going to run Greenest in Flames that particular episode because they're level 5. Yes, they're a lot higher than level 1, but that is actually a very difficult chapter to complete. They might actually be able to complete all of the tasks just because they are level 5, okay? Whereas if they were level 1, they can't. You have to make hard choices. Instead of calling it Greenest in Flames, you're going to rename it and call it Phandalin in Flames, and you're going to have Phandalin be the town that the raid takes place at. Okay, that's my advice to you. They will complete that. Then you will run the Raiders' Camp. It is a very heavy roleplay chapter. It really shouldn't be combat because if they do, they will all die or get captured. And then everything else you're going to turn into a montage. Travel montage, you're not going to run any of it. You're going to skip almost all of it. And then the montage that you present in terms of what, lead them on the trail, put them on the trail after the Raiders' Camp, put them on the trail, and then in 1 or 2 sentences, you're going to give them the montage to get past everything else, and then you're going to run episode 7, which is the Hunting Lodge. You get them there, you run that, and the last one, episode 8, which is a great chapter, Castle in the Clouds, and you run that. Now you might be thinking, but Fred, I really want to run the Dragon Hatchery. Don't do that. Trust me, it's not as good as you might think. It makes no sense that they would leave a whole bunch of dragon eggs behind when they break camp. It doesn't make any sense. You can't hatch eggs unless it's on a treasure hoard for a dragon, and there needs to be a dragon involved, and there's no dragon there. So it's not going to hatch. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. I can assure you, I'm pretty sure that AJ Pickett agrees with me. The egg has to be on the dragon hoard, okay? And it needs to be with the dragon. And they take a long time to actually come out. Everything else is junk. I know you're thinking, what about episode 6 with the castle? Trust me, it's not as much fun as you might think. It frankly isn't. Just forget about it. I know you're like, oh, but I bought this book and I've only got to use 4 chapters. I can tell you now, out of this book, the best chapters, even though it's deadly, is the first one, episode 1, Greenest in Flames. One of the better chapters. Just really hard if you're level 1. But they won't be because they'll be level 5 now. And then another one which is really good just because there's no real combat taking place and it's all about stealth and infiltration. Episode 2, the Raiders' Camp. Great. The Hunting Lodge, not a great episode, but it links everything else together and you need that to get into the last one because the highlight of this adventure is actually Castle in the Clouds, episode 8. Episode 8 is really what you want to run. Okay? And at the end of this, I think you'll be about level 9 once you've finished all of this. Just use milestones. Don't worry about using experience points. If you want to use experience points, then you need to award a lot of experience points for dealing with the Raiders' Camp. So that they actually get to the right level. Okay? That's the easiest way to combine the Lost Mine of Phandelver with this problematic adventure. Because what happens when you run the middle section is you get this with players. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Will it ever end? We're on the road again, following the trail. Again we follow the trail. Are we there yet, Fred? And then they get frustrated, and then they just want to attack and kill all of the cultists and take the treasure, which of course undermines the entire campaign. So get rid of it. That's all I can say. That's the best advice that I can think of.